Joining us now is the former mayor of Del Rio, Texas, Bruno Lozano, Del Rio resident Bea Vallejo, and U.S. congressional candidate and retired Border Patrol agent and Army veteran Frank Lopez Jr. So the White House is saying that they're prepared for this onslaught that they see coming next week. Bruno, you were the mayor of that area there in Del Rio. How reassured do you feel about these so-called preparations that somehow they won't share with us?
I just take a look at what's been happening along the border this entire time. We continue to see about 1,700 people crossing a day. And once this title's lifted, I anticipate that more people will be more emboldened to just continue to cross unlawfully and legally. So I highly doubt that the administration is fully prepared to take on the influx of additional migrants crossing unlawfully.
Really quickly, Bruno, what do you expect to happen in the city of Del Rio?
Well, I hope not a repeat of what happened in September 2021 while I was still in office, just because that completely inundated the system and the community. But I do anticipate that we'll have pockets of people crossing in the hundreds, if not thousands at a time, just like we saw in El Paso recently.
Yeah. What about you, Bea? You live about 5 minutes from the border. What do you expect to happen next week?
Well, I expect a major surge, and I'll tell you, this Biden administration, they don't care about the border townspeople. They don't care about the border towns. They are just having us deal with it. Our city officials, we don't have enough police. They don't have enough DPS. They don't even have enough guardsmen to stop what is coming in now. Can you imagine what they're going to do? We're going to be inundated by all of these people because the Biden administration has refused to do anything about this. Instead, they have encouraged it. And by lifting Title 42 when it comes to end on December 21st, just imagine what's going to happen to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already stressed out as it is with our office, and all of these people are going to be coming now because they know that they can.
Frank, you were in the Border Patrol for 30 years. Tell me, and I know you're still in contact with a lot of people in the Border Patrol right now. What is the morale right now? What are they expecting to happen? How are they preparing for what might happen next week?
Yeah, in a word, lifeless. What I mean by that, there's no joy. There's no sense of purpose for these guys to go out and do their work. What they're doing now is just, as we know, processing. But, and of course, they're demoralized. We've had a high suicide rate within the Border Patrol. It's unheard of. But as far as being prepared, look, I think that the Biden administration is going to be overwhelmed, Rachel. What they are prepared to a certain extent. What I mean by that is they have been using our tax dollars, federal taxes, to lay the infrastructure for this massive influx. They have been setting up processing centers. They have been setting up contracts with NGOs, contracts with bus companies to move these people away from the border to the interior of the country. Now we're getting word that these NGOs are operating outside the country. They are forward deployed to open up the pipeline even bigger. The entire time we are empowering the cartels. We're fueling the drug problem here in America. And these people that are coming into our country, we'll probably have some good ones in there, I guess, as far as moral people, I guess you could say, aside from the fact that they're breaking the law. But we don't know who they really are. And so the Biden administration is opening up a Pandora's box here on the border by not using Title 42, which they were using, honestly, to a minimal extent. And so it is a facade. They want this to happen. They have orchestrated this.
Yeah. I'm really glad you brought up the NGO component. That's something we're actually going to delve a little bit deeper on in the show, and I encourage our viewers to stay with us to talk about that problem. That's something Bea also has talked a lot about, the NGOs, the lack of vetting, the amount of money that's being funneled there. And also, Frank, you brought up the morale of the Border Patrol. You're right, we have record number suicide just this year, 14 suicides. I can sense the tension in all of your voices, the anticipation of what's going to happen next week. We'll probably bring you guys back to talk about it after, but after the date, which is December 21st. I want to first thank you for being here and also for sharing your thoughts. I think Americans are with you for the most part, those who know about what's happening, and their hearts go out to all of you on the border who are going to be the first to encounter what's going to happen on December 21st when Title 42 is lifted. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Frank, Bea, and Bruno. Merry Christmas. All right, Pete.
Rachel, well done. I mean, those are the faces of the consequences of an America Last policy. Citizens affected by it. Well done.